also has, her firm, GSE Government Services Group, has also developed the funding formula for the fire departments that we've used for many years. Their firm has developed many models of things that the county could do, including other MSBUs that have not developed or come to life. And she's one of us, and she is on retainer on an as-needed basis, and is capable of MSBU funds as a consultant for the operations.
Has she brought you some samples of what other counties, other MSBUs are doing to get the word out there and to bring the input in? I mean, are we doing this? I understand we hired this firm, and out of so many notes we got. I understand that she's not firm, but I mean, is she?
If I can finish. We're already doing some of what Camille said. Every month we send to the Sunny Hills Civic Association, which is, I think, the primary voice, the most widespread voice in the community. The portion of our monthly report that we give to you that says what MSBU has done, we also send a copy of the budget. Now, the last 2 months, that did not happen. And the reason that did not happen is because of the transition that I've been making to get to this job that you haven't done, the monthly report. We hope to correct that shortly. But we do send that out in the manner that we send it out. Now, if we want to mail something quarterly to every household or everything like that, you're talking about tremendous expenses. We're also talking about, I know that we're looking at budgets and cutting resources and personnel and things like that. You're actually talking about expanding somebody there to do all that mailing, development, printing.
I'm not proposing we do that.
Okay. I mean, if that becomes a proposal. The other thing, I think, Mr. Pate, your question is related to you each one have the survey that was made and the disc and so on that was presented last month. I think if nothing else that you need to adopt that for record. It was commissioned, it was completed, it was reported on, it's now part of the records, and if you didn't last month, I think perhaps we need to adopt that for records. That gives you something to act on. You may choose to do nothing, or you may choose to take the recommendations that's in there. Camille and I today want to tell you that here's how we kind of interpret what you were told. You also asked for the raw data that came in Friday afternoon by an email. Mr. Goodman has asked that he be allowed to look at it first. I think the word was redact that he used. I think it means take away anything of a personal nature that's left in, that may be left in there. So we've got that now. We got it Friday afternoon, and I will forward that to you after this meeting. But we do have some of those are like 300 responses. This is some of those that Ms. Lindemann talked about, and you said you want to see the raw data because they didn't fit into a response category or something for the survey. As it relates to the survey, there were several criticisms that was offered to it. One of them is that we did not begin or stop any program last year. We only maintained what we had been doing. Part of that is, if you'll remember going back to 2009 when you removed the advisory board, I feel like that in particular fire club is what was interrupted. It's not interrupted, we just didn't put any in it. That doesn't mean that we won't, can't, or shouldn't. It just means that we didn't last year. That program is still a viable priority. There have been accusations about improperly spent money. We have sustained an audit every year since inception, an audit that has been cleared by the Auditor General of the State of Florida, goes to his office. I say there is no improperly spent monies out there, not now, not with the previous administration. I don't believe the members. We do need to look at our ordinance. We currently have an ordinance that says that there will be an advisory committee. You, as the Board of Commissioners, have chosen to disband or remove that provision. If we're not going to have it, we need to change the ordinance because somebody somewhere is going to stop and say, well, you're not following your own ordinance. We either need to do it or we need to ask Mr. Goodman and Camille could probably provide a number of ordinances, sample ordinances, where governances are addressed. We've talked about that there was redundancy in the survey, and there was. But talking to surveyors, that is a very legitimate way of asking questions. Sometimes when you do these personality tests or you do surveys for other things, number 27 and number 78 is going to be the same thing. Sometimes they're asked different ways. If you answer it differently both times, it's going to show up as question number 113 also, and kind of fill out. So redundancy was not a bad thing.